Okay, so this is going to be a how-to on how to record your stats. We are going to do examples of Monday league recording, but almost everything applies to Thursday slash tournament league as well. There's not really any differences with the stats that you record or how to enter them. There's just a couple different links is all. But you can find each link in either or link. So we'll start by doing a brief overview of what the stats are and how to find them, how to find the links, and kind of just a general overview of it before we get into actually recording it. So first, in the Discord, if you scroll all the way up, and this is also on mobile as well, you go all the way up to this channel list, and this one right here called Server Guide. If you click on it, is all these resources that we have. There's rules, schedule and stats, hint hint, Thursday league, tournament league schedule, the official website, channel descriptions, the icon meetings, all like the like little trophies next to people's names, what they mean, right here, and then some other important links here. So there's kind of a couple copies, but we'll go to this important links one, and we're gonna start with the oh, sorry, I'm the wrong one. The Monday League schedule and stats one. So we'll come to this one later, the stats per round. But first, we're going to go to this AG Monday League link. And so here, it brings you to the schedule. And in the schedule, sorry, 1 second. And in the schedule, you can find the standings, the home page, kind of just other data of the stats, all these player profiles. We'll go over this later, but the important one that I want to bring attention to first is the home page, and specifically the stats entry link. So when you click on this, it'll bring you to this Google form, and we'll go through this more later, but in order to kind of understand what the stats you're entering are, there's a description for each one, and so you know what to record. So, you'll put in your year, season, week, whatever game you're recording, your stats, and so enter all the shots you've taken, including fireballs and dry fires. So you enter your shots 76, 70, 75, 76. Enter only kills that result in the player going out, arrows and fireballs. Even if you feel the player got hit and didn't go out, it does not count. This means if you hit someone and they stayed in and they cheated, whatever, and they didn't go out, you do not get credit for the kill. It is only what the result is. If the ref called them out, then they're out, and then that's a kill. If they did not walk off the field, you do not get credit for the kill. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Deaths, anytime you have to leave the field, if you get called for a penalty and have to leave, this is more specifically for Tournament League. Not really a lot of penalties that get called for on Monday, but specifically Tournament League. If you get a penalty, that counts as a death because you are leaving the field. Anytime that you get hit, it's a death. Again, if it's something that you didn't feel like it hit you, but the ref said it hit you, you get out, you walk off, counts as a death. Catches. Enter arrows caught without the assistance of a wall or object, regardless if it results in a revive. So you get a catch and it doesn't bounce off, because if it bounces off the wall, the ceiling, another player, the pole, the bunker, etc., it is not a valid catch. If you are counting it as a catch, you should not be. If it hits anything at all, even the little vines hanging down, it is not a catch. So record the ones that you get. Doesn't matter if they're a revive or not. As long as you caught the arrow clean, it's a catch. Catch is given when you give someone a catch. It's pretty self-explanatory. If a catch is one thing, when someone else does that and it's from your arrow, that is a catch given. Revives given is when you give a catch and that catch results in another player getting revived on the team. So these numbers are going to be probably pretty similar. Your revives given is probably going to be a little less, because if you give up a catch when there's no player to get revived, that's a catch given, not a revive given. But when there's someone to get revived, it's one of each. Target board in revive. So this is one there's a little bit of confusion with, that has been in the past. I've tried to explain it as best as I can. Enter the amount of times you hit your target board and at least one target falls out. Only count one hit for each shot, regardless of how many targets fall out. A gong hit also counts as one target. But so the target board, right, there's 5 targets, and we'll go over some examples later. There's 5 targets. You hit the board, all 5 pop out. That is one target board hit. You hit the board, one target pops out, and you do that 5 times. That's 5 target board hits, right? So it's the amount of times that your arrow knocked out a target. Doesn't matter how many revives it was. Doesn't matter how many targets got knocked out, as long as it was one. Revives is where it comes into play. Revives is if I knock out 5 targets out with one shot, and say 3 of them result in revives, that's 3 revives. So the other 2 targets that I shot out got wasted. So it's the amount of people that come back in based on your actions. If you get a catch, that's a revive. If there's someone to be revived, same with a gong, right? You count the amount of people that come back in after you hit a gong. It's that many revives. Gong, no explanation needed. You hit the gong, it falls over. You can either get 0, 1, or 2. There's no other options for Monday. In the Tournament League forum, this is an open number, so you can enter as many because there's different gong rules on Tournament League. Farmed is it's a newer stat we added. You enter how many arrows were retrieved from the neutral zone and not shot immediately. You either have to drop them or pass them to someone else. This is only grabbing arrows from the neutral zone, not passing arrows around that are just around the field. It's you pick one up from the neutral zone, you step out, and you drop it. That's one farmed. What does count too is, say you go into the neutral zone, and as you're leaving, you get hit and die, but you still drop the arrow on your side. That technically counts as a farmed. So that's just kind of a brief overview of the stats that you enter. As soon as you enter these, you'll see all the kind of calculated stats appear: accuracy, KDR, net impact. We'll talk about all those afterwards once we're into the entering the stats portion when we come back to this. But for now, I want to go back to here, to the Discord, to the server guide, and show this link in the Monday League schedule and stats. And right here, this Monday League stats per round. So this is a template that also gives explanations of all the stats, and it gives the explanations of the calculated stats as well, but there's also explanations for everything. To use this template is not necessary to enter your stats. It is a helpful tool that Yusuf created that can enter your stats round by round. So to use it, because it's a view-only copy, you go to File, Make a Copy, and I can just name it. Let's do like Cam Summer 2025 Stats per Rounds. Make a copy. And I'll just close out the template. And now this is my copy that I can edit. So once I go to entering it, I'll show you what happens when you enter these. You can enter your shots, kills, all your stats. It'll automatically calculate all these ones. You put in your game outcome, you put in whether you got 3 points or they got 3 points or 2, 1, whatever it is. So if we got 3 points, the game outcome was a win, right? And so what this does is, let me just throw some random numbers in here for a round. So 2 kills, 2 deaths, 1 catch given, just so you can see. So you got 3 target board hits and 5 revives, no gong, and like 1 farmed, right? Don't worry about this. This is just because I messed up. Okay, so now I have my round 1 in, and my opponent's name, say we played Bowstars. So now, over here in the per round stats sheet, you can see my stats come up here. And once you have more in, you can see the rankings of your best round in it. What round are you the most effective in? Are you an early game player? Are you a late game player? Are you good at running rounds? Are you good at starting rounds? So there's a lot of cool different things here that you can do. Like I said, it's a cool tool. It's neat. It's not unnecessary to enter your stats into the main database, but it is a cool tool. So I just want to show that first. So now I'm going to talk a bit about the different ways to actually enter your stats. So there's several ways to record your stats. Sorry, not enter, to record your stats. There's several ways to do it. I have two preferred ways that I'll go over. Everyone kind of has their own preferred way. So the first way that I'll go over is the simple tally marker. And I do this with a pen and paper, and I just set up, let me do this. I'm going to take a picture and then see if I can pull it up quick. And in the video, I'll superimpose the picture into it. I'll have Yusuf do it, but you can set up a tally mark, and you can do it per round. You can do the entire thing. You can just do it in so many different ways. What I personally do is I do the whole thing. I don't do the per round, but that's just mostly because I just don't. I recommend doing it though. It's cool. I wish I used it more. Here I can pull up the picture of what I do. Right here. So right here, so you can see, I took a lot of shots this game, but I just do shots, kills, catches, deaths, catch given, revive given, targets, revives, farms, gong, in any order, really. I change my order. You can see the game before that I was doing, I have a different order, and it doesn't quite matter, right? And so I just do tallies, one shot, one shot, one shot, and the cross is a 5, right? This is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is doing this, but splitting it per round, right? Dividing it per round, so that way you can enter it into the per round template. Like I said, I like that method a lot, to do the per round template. And another method, and I'll give examples of all these too as we go. I just want to give an overview. Another example that I do often, that I've been doing lately, is I'll have a notepad pulled up. So say, let me pull up a video. Ignore my YouTube. Let me pull up a video. I'll do the most recent No Strings Attached game of this summer. So start back at the beginning. So I'll just have a notepad down here so I can still watch. And then what I'll do is I will enter the letters of the corresponding stat. So, S for shot, K for kill, C for catch, D for death, T for targets, R for revives. I do G for catches given, and because you can't, in this method, and I'll show you what this is later, you can't do like a 2-letter thing, right? Because it's going to count the individual letters. I do Z for revives given, and then O for gong, F for farmed. So it's just a kind of a method. So what I'll do is I'll watch the games, and as I'm just sitting here and I go shot, kill, or shot, kill, catch, revive, catch, no revive, catch given, revive given, shot, target, revive, gong, revive, right? You get the point. And so then I'll take this string. There it is. I'll take this string, and I will go and I just Google character frequency counter. No, character frequency counter. Nope. Third time's a charm. Character frequency counter. And I just paste that in, calculate letter frequency, and then here it is. 13 revives, 4 shots, 2 kills, 2 catches, 1 given, 1 revive given, 1 target, 1 gong. So then I can take this, and then come to the per round. Say this is week 1, right? Let's get rid of this. This is the per round, and so I can just enter this. So shots was 4, kills was 2, deaths was 0, catches was 2, catches given was 1, revives given was 1, target was 1, revives was 13, 1 gong, and no farmed. And so right here, you can see, look at that accuracy, wow. So you can see all the stats that it entered, and then you can just do this per round. If you don't want to do it per round, if you just want to do the whole game, it works the exact same way. You just have a really, really long string, and then you can still just put it in here, and there you go. So if you don't want to do it the per round and you just want to do the total, do not enter it in this sheet. If you want to put it in the total here too, that's fine, or whatever, round 1, that's fine. Do it, like play around with it. But you'll just take once you have the full game, you'll take it and enter it into the sheet. And again, we'll go over that in a minute. So I got a little bit ahead of myself, but so I'm going to pull up a video, and we're going to go and just kind of review a quick, couple rounds of the different methods, right? So I'm going to start with the tally method, and I'm going to start with, so I'm just writing out my tallies right now, bear with me. So shot, kill, death, catches given, revives given, targets, revives, gong, farmed. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to do just the first round, and I'm just going to record the stats as the first round. If something comes up, I'll talk about it. I haven't done this game yet for myself, but so if something comes up, I'll talk about it. But for now, I'm just going to go through and just get some of the numbers down, and then I want to talk about some kind of events that happen frequently, that are frequently asked questions that people have some trouble with, and I want to kind of clear the air on that. So first, I'm just going to go full screen like I had. So I got how I do it. I get my left hand on the space bar so I can quickly pause and unpause, and then I just have my right hand on the notepad. So we'll just get going. So I'm going to start playing. And so I took a shot. So I mark 1 as a shot, and I didn't get a kill, so it's nothing. Right there, took another shot. So that one, you could be confusing. So I'm gonna be pausing and unpausing and trying and moving a bit quick. So I apologize if it's hard to follow. So I'm right here, and what's going to happen is I'm going to shoot at Dave right here, and it's going to look like my arrow went in his direction, and then he got out. So I might think, oh, I hit him, it was my shot, and I get the kill. But this is where you have to be careful. So if you look, my shot just completely whiffed, and he got hit from someone else. And if you're ever confused, a very quick way of doing this without, you can do what I'm doing, right, which I watching in full speed, just kind of like going back and forth a few times. But another way of doing it is just going here, playback speed, and just slowing it down. You can do like 0.5, right? And so then I'll just watch this, and I'm just going to watch Dave, and I see Dayton shoot him, hit him first, and then I shoot and I miss. So that's just a shot. So then I'm going to bring it back, and as you go, I'm taking my time with this, and as you go, you'll get better and quicker, and you won't have to pause often. Like it's a pretty thing that once you do often, like you get really used to, and you get to navigate it super quick, and you can make these decisions very quickly. So it's not going to take as long as I'm doing it right now. So let's just keep going. So I grab an arrow. So even though I grabbed an arrow from the neutral zone, I'm about to shoot it, so that is not a farmed. So that is a shot and a kill. Again, no, right now I'm just going to pause every time that is a stat that I have to write down. As you do it, and as I do it now, I can just I'm good enough now that I've done it enough where I can just write down the stats without having to pause very often. If there's something that does a lot of things, then like this, a shot, I can just mark down a shot and I'm not worried about it. I'm just waiting. So that was a shot. Mark down the shot, and then the round is over. So then we got +3. So now, let me snap a picture of this and put this in. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just adding it to the chat so I can do it. So now I can take this and it's going to look like so. It's going to look like this, right? So I took 5 shots, sorry, and got 1 kill and nothing else, and we got +3. So now I can take this, and you can do each round. I'm just doing round 1. I'm not going to do the entire game right now, but you can record each round. You don't have to enter them per round, but again, I'm just doing the 1 round. So I'm going to come back to here and delete these one more time, my bogus stats. And shots, I took 5 shots, 1 kill, and just zeros and everything else. And it's already entered, but so our points, we got 3 points. And so then you just do that, and it's simple. You just do it per round. Like I said, you can feel free to, if you want to enter it every single round and do that, or if you want to watch the whole game and do it that way. It's totally up to your prerogative and whatever you prefer. So that's the tally method. Now we'll go to the next round. Let me just fast forward a bit. So this is another thing too. Always be moving back and forth with the arrow keys. Left and right arrow key, plus and minus 5 seconds. It's the game changer, right? It's between rounds. You can just skip forward, right? So let me pause real quick, and I'm going to pull up Notepad. Let me delete these. And I'm going to actually just size this a bit. Normally I have it on a different tab, but just so you can see it, I'm just going to do this. Whoops. I'll leave that like. Alright, so now I'm just going to hit play. And then come here, and then I'm just going to watch. And if I need to pause, I'll pause it and rewind. But I'll just watch. So shot, kill. And again, I'm watching myself right here. So shot, kill. Shot, kill. So I get fireballs count as a shot. Shot. So shot, target. So here's an example, right? So I just knocked out a bunch of targets, right? So I recorded the shot and the target, but I don't really know how many people just came in. So I'll go back and let me just count. So it's you can't really tell like how many targets come in. So you just count the amount of people that come in, right? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then that's going to be revive, 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 because it was 4 targets. Now we can continue. So that's a death right there. And now, because I didn't die the first round, because I'm so good, I'm kidding, you can just, when you're dead and on the sideline, this is a great, you just skip forward, right? There's no point, I don't need to watch this game if I'm not playing. I mean, if you want to watch it for other reasons, then yes, but if you're just doing your stats, I'm just going to keep skipping forward till eventually I come back in or the round ends. And I'm just going 5 seconds at a time. And so the round ended, and so I'm like, all right, oh, how did the round end? Was it time or did she get hit? Let me go back so I can do it. So she gets hit. So then I can, remember that it's a -3 game. So I come here, grab this, go back to my, let's see if I can do a first try. Nailed it. put this in, calculate letter frequency, and right here. So again, let me just put this to another tab just so it's easy. Shots, 6 shots, kills, 3 kills, deaths, 1 death, no catches given, no revives given, 1 target board hit, and 4 revives. No gongs, no farmed, and opponents scored 3. So those are the 2 methods that I use. I kind of go back and forth and use them interchangeably, whatever I'm feeling at the time. So now, before we enter the stats, before I walk through that, I want to go back to the video, and I want to hopefully just kind of parse through it a bit and show some examples of some common, frequently asked questions, such as if an arrow hits someone and they 2 arrows hit the same person, they catch one and one of them is a kill. What happens then? It's probably pretty unlikely, so I'm gonna just set it to go a little bit faster. Here, I don't remember it happening, so bear with me for a moment while I look for it. Another question that happens is, like, what if you just really can't tell if something hits someone, if it's your arrow, and there's a couple different ways to do it. So, actually, let me go back to this one on Dave. That's a good example of this, of one way to do it. Where was it? It was round 1, I believe. So this is the beginning of the game. So let me put it back to normal speed. So another way, so we were able to slow this down and tell whose arrow is what. Sometimes you will not be able to do that. Sometimes it's just too close. The cameras have a certain frame rate. These arrows move a lot faster than that frame rate. So it's just super hard. One thing that you can do is use these keys specifically, and YouTube, using the left and right caret, the less than and greater than sign, it will, if you're paused, it'll go by frame, right? I think if you hold it, it like skips a few frames. So let's do this and just show this example. So I can see myself right here about to aim at Dave, and I see Dayton about to shoot at Dave. So I just go frame by frame. And again, you don't have to spend, I don't want people spending an insane amount of time trying to look at every single arrow very, very closely to make sure your stats are completely perfect. Yes, they need to be accurate. It is very important that they're accurate, because if you inflate them, it could, a lot of people base a lot of things off of stats, specifically in like Thursday League and with the draft. So the stats are, relatively important to get right. But 1 or 2 things that you got wrong, it's not going to make or break anything. It's not that big of a deal. Don't spend forever on it. I would much rather you just get it done, so that way you do it. I'd rather have 30 entries of 95% correct stats than 10 entries of 100% correct stats, right? The more data, the better. So let's continue this. So I'm just going round by round. So I see Dayton right here in the bottom, just let go. I haven't let go yet of my shot, frame by frame. So I know his arrow is going to come first. And you can see it. It's a little blurry. Let me go see if it's a little bit clearer. So you can kind of see it now, right here. And I still haven't even let go of my shot yet. Keep going, keep going. And it hits off of his bow. You can see the arrow change trajectory, so you know it hit him. And then we can keep going. See mine come right here and miss and hit the wall right in front of him. So then I just confirmed what I already knew, but just confirmed it was not my kill. It was my shot. Missed the shot. Like I said, spend a minute on it, spend a couple minutes on it. Do not spend really don't spend more than 90 seconds trying to figure out one shot. It's not that big. It's not that important. I'd rather just get the stats done. In cases, and I'm probably not going to be able to find a case, so I'll just talk about it. And let me just play this and get this in the background. Let me just skip forward a bit just to have this on. So there's going to be cases where you and someone else shoot the person, and at the same exact time, one of them resulted in a kill, one of them resulted in a catch. Use your best judgment, slow it down, go frame by frame for a minute, and do your best to make sure that you can tell or not. If you really can't tell, if it's like frame by frame perfect, if you just really, really, really cannot tell, and in this specific example of a kill and a catch given at the same time, just give yourself both, right? It's what I do. I'm sure other people think differently on it, but that's my philosophy on it. It's not worth more than 90 seconds of my time. I'm just gonna skip forward to the next round here. And it's not worth more than 90 seconds. If I see I shoot at someone, well, at the same time, say like Toaster right here shoots at someone, and one of them was caught, one of them was a kill, I give myself one shot, one kill, one catch given, and a revive given if necessary. Just because it gives me both the positive and the negative of it. It just lets me move on. Again, I do my best. I go frame by frame. I slow it down. I do my best to make the correct decision, but I'm not going to spend my entire time on it. So those are the two methods that I use to record. So now let's go through actually entering them into the database. So I'm going to pause this. So I brought up this before, the Monday League stats entry. And again, there is a Thursday one as well. You can find the link in the same place that I pointed out in the resources. And it's about the same entries. There's very little difference. So I'm going to pull this up on the side just so I have it. And so we're going to just go year 2025, season, this is summer season, week, it is week 2. Now, name, so I am in here. This list is every person who has ever entered their stats. If you have not entered stats yet, or if you just for some reason cannot find your name on this list, you just go up here to new player not found. So for the sake of it, we'll just go on through this example. And so it'll have you enter your name afterwards. We'll get to that. So shots. So after you do all of your rounds or just have your total, you just enter your totals here. So my shots here was 11 shots. Kills, 4 kills. Deaths, 1 death. 0 catches, 0 catches given. 0 revives given. 1 target board. 4 revives. Gongs, 0. Farmed, 0. Hit next. And now, because I was a new player, I can put in my name. Let's do Billy Bob Thornton. And hit submit. And now, you can look at your stats a few different ways. The first way that we added recently, I'm going to come back to the Discord here. And down here, Monday League stats entry. And now you can see, let me scroll down. So you can see 2025 summer week 2, new player not found, and it shows you the stats and the name, Billy Bob Thornton. If you do not want your stats to appear in this channel, just let me know, message me, say, hey, I have my stats, I kind of want them in, but I kind of want to like not have it posted in the Discord. I can enter them manually without it doing this. It's no big deal. It's very easy for me. You will never be you'll never be a bother. So please do not worry about it. So now let's come back here. to the home page. So you can already see here the new player not found. So what's done to correct the name, and this is something that I do manually. Again, it is very easy to do, and I can just give you a peek behind the curtain. Is in this form. This is where all of the stats entries come. So I just go down to the bottom, and new player not found, and this is the name you entered. This is the name you want to be called. I just replace it, and now your name's your name. We have Billy Bob Thornton stats in. And you can see too, your net impact, the accuracy, KDR, catch percentage, and given percentage are all automatically calculated for you. So to view your stats, we'll give a brief overview of the homepage because there's quite a lot to it. There's been a lot of work done over the few years that we've had the stats. So I'll try and give a brief overview of it. So the homepage is, you can see a selection up here. The week, season, summer. So right now we're in week 2, summer 2025. So I'm not going to change it. But if, so say you wanted to look at winter stats, you just click winter, and then the homepage changes to view the stats for the winter. There's a lot of stats, as you can see in this weekly database. Let me just scroll through it all. As you can see how slow it is because it's loading, and loading bars up here. A lot of stats. Takes a lot of time. Be patient with it. Some menus are quicker than others. There's a little blue bar at the top right. You can see it on mobile. I don't think it pops up, but you'll just give it some time. So here we have the leaders. So this is the leaders of the week, the leaders of the season, the leaders of the year, and the leaders of lifetime. So shots, all the stats, right? You can come here to highlight player, and this is all of the players that have their stats entered for the season. So right now Dayton is popped up, so it'll highlight all him. I'm not quite sure. Oh, here it is. So Billy Bob Thornton, right? We just entered our stats, we put him in, and now we can see that we're highlighted. And look at that, we're in the MVP race already. So you can see all the highlights. This is the rankings, right? So all the different stats. Offensive MVP, support MVP, and overall MVP are stats that are calculated based off of combinations of different stats. I can quickly, offensive MVP is based off of kills, revives given, and accuracy. Support MVP is based off of deaths, farmed, and targets. Overall MVP is net impact, accuracy, and catch percentage. Catches and catch given percentage. They're not weighted equally. They are weighted differently based off of my views of how important each stats are. Example, overall MVP, your net impact is... So for those who don't know, net impact is, the calculation is your kills plus your revives minus your deaths plus your revives given. So it's basically how many people you are responsible for. The higher the better. You can see right here, Jeff Dion, 38 net impact is extremely good. That is wildly high. To give an example of that, in this sheet down here, game highs, you can see what the highest / best games of all time were. Shots, 143 shots in one game. Kills, Nate Lang had 43 kills in 2024 Fall 2. Net impact, so you can see a 38 net impact is just shy of the top 10 game of all time. So it's a crazy high stat. So it means like it's the impact that player has on the field. So your overall MVP, because this is a pretty important stat, the overall MVP stat is calculated based on a pretty higher weight for net impact rather than catches or catch given percentage or accuracy. Net impact is much more heavily favored in that. and it takes all standard deviations and does some calculations. I won't get into that. That's boring. No one wants to know about that besides me. So that's kind of the quick overview of the homepage. There's some records down here at the bottom, single season records, single game records. So that's the homepage. So if you want to view your stats that you just entered, a couple different ways to do it. You can come here to the weekly database, and you can just kind of scroll all the way down to the bottom, and then you can see your stats like this. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it, you can go to the filter right here under name. I can clear all and go to, I want to see Billy Bob Thornton's, and I hit OK, and then there you go. There's your stats, all your stats that you just entered. He doesn't have a lot of stats, right? So let's look at mine real quick. So I'm gonna go Cam. So then these are all the stats that I've entered over the years from 2023 winter all the way to 2025 winter. So if I just want to say, I just want to look at my 2024 summer, I just go here and I make sure 2024 is selected. Same thing here, only select summer. And there you go, 2024 summer. And I can even sort it by week if I want, so I can see my progression throughout it. That's it. It's a pretty easy way of kind of like filtering the data quickly. It's not the easiest to look at, I understand, because all the calculations, like I've been messing with the decimals. Don't get me started on formatting these. And then once you're done, just go back and clear all the select all to get rid of the filters. It's not going to break anything if you don't. It's just it's appreciated, so I know what I'm looking at. So again, I showed you the game highs. So this was the weekly database. This is the season database. So this is based off of whatever selection is selected here. So right now we have 2025 summer selected. So in the season database, you're going to see 2025 summer. Same with the year, we're going to see 2025. And then lifetime is just a combination of every stat ever that anyone has ever entered. It's a lot. So these are the MVPs. The reason that these are blank is because there is a minimum game requirement, both for season, year, and lifetime. In order to meet that requirement, you can see up in the right corner what the minimum games are. For lifetime, I think it's like the average of all. Basically, you have to have more than that to be considered part of the lifetime. If you ever want to see how you stand in the homepage, there's this one, Ignore Min Games, and you click that, and then if I go back to the lifetime, then you can see the min games turns to 0, and you can see everybody's stats and how they rank up. So, and then the last thing I want to show is the player profiles page. This page is pretty cool. So let me I'll just go to myself. Again, it takes a minute to load. You can see the bar. And this page, if it's loaded because the picture will change, because that is not me. So what this page does is it shows kind of your stats based off of, here it is, and so what my year is, my lifetime, my individual game bests, how many badges I have. Badges are just kind of, if you have a certain amount of stat, you get a badge, right? I think it's 40 kills is a badge, 100 shots is a badge, 20 catches is a badge. So you'll get the badges that way, and it kind of there's a breakdown of each stat and what they mean. I don't have, let me just select winter here just so you can see. So these graphs are of the season, and so like my net impact, what kind of goes into my net impact. You can, I'm the blue, the league average is red, and it assigns scores. So you can kind of see like how what parts of your stats are attributing to your net impact and your MVP scores. So, and then the last tab is the main data tab. This is probably the easiest way to view all the data that you want. And you can just see here, year, season, week selection. So this is completely independent of the homepage selections. If you just want to view 2025 summer, we'll go week 2. And right now we have it selected for week, so we'll view the week and just let it load. And it takes a minute because it's going through. It's a lot of queries and everything. Here it is. So you can see the name, and this name is long, so that's why it's being cut off. So you can see your stats, and you can see it was a 45% accuracy, 4 KDR, 0 catch percentage, 0 catch given percentage. And if you want to see season, year, lifetime, you can do that. I won't do that now because it just takes a while. But so there you go. That's kind of the overview of the stats. If anyone has any questions ever about anything stat related, please, please, please do not hesitate. You can also come here on the homepage to the contact us form. And here you don't have to put a name. It can be blank and anonymous. And if you have an issue with the culture, if you have teams, rules, stats, anything, just put it in. It comes to me directly. I will answer it. I can answer it publicly. I can answer it privately, whatever you prefer. Do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions at all. If you mess up your stats, and someone actually did, and I forgot to change it, so I can do that now, and I can just show you how easy it is. So, Danimal texted me, and he said, hey, I got 44 shots instead of 40. Can you fix it? 44. And that's it. It's very easy. I can do it from my phone. I can do it at work. I can do it in bed. It's very simple to correct stats if you do it wrong. If you need to delete a stat, if like, hey, I did my stat this way, but I just re-entered it because there's a bunch wrong, again, delete. Right? It's super easy for me to fix stats. Please don't worry about it. You're not a bother. The last thing that I will show that isn't quite stat related, but it's still something I want to show off, is the league website. This is something that Yusuf has put together that is an awesome, awesome, awesome resource for links, for pictures, for videos. You can see here, this is the Monday League homepage that we have, the attendance form, schedule, stats, season winners. So let's look here, season winners. And you can see the 2025 league winners and all the team pictures of everyone that wins, who won Dog Eat Dog, 2024 league winners, 2023 league winners. So you can see all the past winners that we've had. If you want to come more to media, see other pictures, this is every tournament, every kind of event that we've ever had that we have pictures for, Halloween 2024, and it just brings you a link to the photo album. It's a great spot. Gear, this is some popular gear that people have, the rules of the leagues, tournaments, other tournaments that we have. So it's a great resource to kind of like show around, click around. It's awesome. There's the calendar, so all the games are in here. So if you're ever curious and you just want to have this is the map, the contact us form. It's a great resource. So that's it. I think I got through everything that I wanted to. If there's anything that you think I missed, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave a comment, send me a message. Any way of contacting is fine. And let's see, are there any differences between Tournament League? Not really. There's a few differences in kind of like how the stats are presented and how the MVPs are calculated. But it's the exact same process. Stats entry form, it's the exact same process. The names are just a full name instead of a individual name. So that's it. I hope I see your stats, because the more stats we have, we can do team stats. Like here, we have team stats, right, for the people who enter their stats. The more team stats we have, the more kind of really cool analysis that we could do. That'll be, once we have a lot of people doing stats. So it's awesome. If there's any more questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I hope to see everyone's stats. Thank you.